Welcome, fellas, to the Too Much Game Show. This is episode 2, and today we're going to talk about the best women for casual dating. That's right, the best women for casual dating. First, before we get into that, I'm your gracious game advisor, yours, King Dre, and I would like you to hit the like button. I would like you to subscribe, and I would like you to share this episode with somebody who it may be of benefit. And that's if you're on YouTube. If you're watching on Apple, or if you're watching on Spotify, make sure you guys leave a review. Leave me a 5-star review. Um, Make sure you drop a comment, and also make sure you share the episode. Do me that. If you get something out of this, if you get something out of this game, if this help you, help me by spreading the game, by spreading the word. Excuse me. I should have went to speech class. By spreading the word, so we can grow this thing and we can spread this game and we can change the world. One piece of ism at a time. So, you know, that's that. But first, before we get into the game, I have a new ebook called "The 5 Dating Mistakes That Kill Attraction." If you struggling with dating, if you're not getting sex, if you're not getting dates, you're getting flaked on, whatever the case may be, you're more than likely making one of these mistakes. If you want this ebook, it's free. Make sure you hit the link that's in the description, or the link that's in the show notes, or the bio, or wherever you're seeing this at. There'll be a link. The 5 Dating Mistakes That Kill Attraction. It's free. Go get it right now. Also, if you have problems texting, if you have problems with attraction, I got a program that I just dropped called a Complete Attraction System. It covers attraction. It covers texting for the guys that's been asking me years, drop something on texting. 2.5 workshop, 2.5 hours a game. Just this in the texting part alone, or where I go over the do's and don'ts of texting. Um, I go over a live thread where, real life threads, 3 different people, what they did wrong, what they didn't do wrong, what they did right, that type of stuff. Very, very valuable. And also I'm gonna throw in as a part of that system, I threw in conversation starters. So basically, if you have trouble starting conversations, if you're having trouble having things to talk about or coming up with ideas, I got a whole sheet full of stuff, fun stuff, engaging stuff that spark chemistry that you can say to a woman, and you can ask a woman, and you can get a whole conversation going. So the link is going to be in the description if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Spotify and Apple, the link is going to be in the show notes. But I don't want to get too much into that. I want to get straight into this game. So let's get straight into this game. Today, I wanted to talk about the best women for casual dating. The best women if you want to sleep around, if you want to get your numbers up, or if you just want to play the field for a while, if you don't want to date seriously, you don't want a relationship, this episode is for you. And I'm doing this because a lot of my guys be fishing in the wrong pond. And so I was like, let me make an episode to tell them where the fish at, who the fish are, so they can go get the fish. Because y'all be doing, a lot of my guys be doing some crazy stuff. And I'm going to get into it in a second. But, it's just you go to church trying to find, something a bop to let you, hunch on a and throw away. Or you go to the strip club trying to find, a wife. Y'all just be fishing in the wrong pond. So, if you're going to date casually, you got to know who down for casual dating, who's most likely down for casual dating, because every woman ain't, a whole. Every woman ain't operating from a whole space, or a slut space, or promiscuous at the time. Every woman is not, open to being casual. Some women want relationships. Some women want marriages. Some women don't want nothing to do with men at all. And whatever journey a woman is on, or whatever a woman want in life, that's fine. You shouldn't look at that no type of way. You shouldn't be mad at it or down it or whatever, because each person got to live their own life. So I'm just saying that to say every woman ain't on some whole shit. So a lot of y'all you want to be casual, you want to date around, but you don't understand where to look. And you're not understanding where to look. You playing in the wrong arena, and then you're not winning, and you think it's something wrong with women, or you think it's something wrong with modern dating, or you think it's just women today are just, no, you just not, you're just not fishing in the right pond. And I say this all the time, and I'm gonna stand on this. I'm gonna stand on this hill, even if I gotta stand on it alone. Casual sex and getting sex from women is 10 times easier than what it used to be because there's no shame in it anymore. When I was growing up, when I was in my early 20s, and I make it sound like I'm so old, but that's how fast the game changed. I'm not that old. But, when I was out there ripping and running and getting my numbers up and all that stuff, it's not to say that it was super hard, but it was just a different game. The game was a bit different. Now, today, women are open about it. They upfront about it. They don't care what you think about them. Women used to try to play a role and, you know, act like they was this and when they was this, and it was just a different ball game back in the day. So you guys now, and I would say us, all of us, is much easier if that's what you wanted to do. And even if you wanted to, you know, even if you wanted to vet, I always forget to put my phone on silent before we start. Even if you wanted to vet women for a relationship, it's a lot easier to do it now because how upfront modern women are. A lot of guys bash the modern dating scene, or they bash the modern era that we in as if we moving backwards anytime soon, and that's not happening. So you just gotta adapt or adjust or get left behind. But anyway, a lot of guys look at the negative, but I was always taught to look at the positive in things. Look at the silver lining in things, and everything basically happens for a reason, right? I look at the good in it. Like, women are way up front. You can see who they are. You know who, you can see them from a mile away. And when you can see who they are, you can develop your game so you can know how to approach them to get what you want. It's just, the game is it's way easier for stuff like that, coming from where I come from. So, coming from the era I come from. So, but anyway, yeah, I wanted to get into, a list of certain types of women that's the best for, that type of casual dating. But I want to start off with, before I get into who's for it, I want to talk about real quick who's not for it, because lately a lot of guys, and I've been seeing this over my career doing this, a lot of guys think in their mind that certain women are open to casual, and logically it would make sense, but it's just not the case. For example, sex workers, or like women who like attention whores, or models, or social media attention whores and stuff like that, women who post their stuff on social medias. These are the hardest women to date casually. The absolute hardest women to date casually. Like, to just, oh, I'm gonna do some casual, I'm gonna just fuck, I don't want to put nothing into them, I'm gonna just fuck, leave. And a lot of the times those type of women are not with it, and I'm going to explain why in a second. And it's not that you may not find a stripper or a sex worker who will do it with you casually, but this is the thing you got to understand, especially about sex workers, right? Sex workers, prostitutes, OnlyFans models. Those women ain't just letting you fuck on them for nothing, because the thing is, they understand their value already. Or not even their value as women, but they understand the value that their whole, or their sexuality, has in the marketplace. They understand how valuable it is, and they see what men are willing to do for it, and they've experienced that they can get paid from this. And so if I can get paid from this, and I'm having casual sex already all day, every day, for money, and I'm paying my rent, I'm finna go lay up with they in their mind, they like, I'm not finna go lay up with your extra average ass for nothing, and I ain't getting nothing out of this when I got 10 tricks in my phone. And women like that have already been exposed to the game for so long that they already have more than likely, they already have a man that they attached to already. Like maybe a pimp or a boyfriend that they mess with, or a man that they mess with that is okay with what they got going on, or a dude that they're attached to. But 9 times out of 10, them women already have the emotional part figured out, and they damn sure not finna have sex with you for nothing. And you just average, and there's no incentive to have sex with you. You just an average dude that work at, average mail carrier, or you work in a corporate America or something, just a regular average guy, or you a plumber or some shit like that, and they not getting nothing out of you. There's no come up in it. Sex workers ain't doing that because they understand the value of their sexuality, and they know what the market is willing to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? So it's for them, it's hustling backwards to just be laying up for nothing, just be getting fucked for nothing and ain't getting nothing out of it, you know. But all women don't think like that. Sex workers do. And again, that includes strippers, that includes prostitutes, even the low budget ones that ain't on the corner, and that includes OnlyFans models. And the thing is, guys are always sending me their DMs or they snaps because a lot of women on Snapchat, they ex workers, and a lot of guys be game goofy and don't be knowing, but they be sending me their DMs and they snaps of chicks that they going back and forth with. That's, you know, clearly clearly sex workers just by how they talking to them. Hey daddy and poppy and hey baby. You know, sex workers use pet names, by the way. That's a classic telltale sign of a pet worker. I mean a pet worker, a sex worker, by the pet names that they call you, and you know how they stroking your ego automatically off the rip. But they sending me these messages and it's clearly a sex worker, and the conversation be going and going and going. And so when it's time to link up, or when the guy like, oh well, let's go here and do this, or you know, give me your number or whatever, the woman always air them out because the dude ain't talking about nothing. And when I say the dude ain't talking about nothing, from that particular woman's standpoint, if you ain't talking about money, you ain't talking about nothing. You see what I'm saying? And so they'll entertain the conversation to see what you want. And if you ain't on nothing, they gonna air you out. Not put your business out, but they're gonna leave you hanging. Basically, they're gonna air you. That's what we used to call it back in the day. But these guys hit me up like, oh, how do I play this? Or, you know, how do I get her to respond? Or how do I play it to get what I want? I'm like, yeah, you got to pay her to get what you want. That's a sex worker, bro. She's a prostitute. She a hoe. You're not finna, you know, you're not going to seduce no, you're not going to seduce or finesse no stripper out of no cat. Not the most of them. You're not going to finesse no, or smooth your way into a sex worker's heart or a prostitute's heart. It's not happening, bro. They already got that part figured out. They don't need casual sex from you. And more than likely, they don't need the emotional component because they got it figured out already. So, because they've been exposed to men constantly since they've been doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with, like, you know, the social media attention whores. You know, a lot of the times, the women who be on the internet who are showing their body for attention or just being attention whores or whatever, even if they're doing it for free, they getting the validation already. And more than likely, if they're exposing themselves to that many men, they got the sexual component figured out already. And truth be told, the sexual component is figured out already, and that sexual component ain't giving them the validation, so they online getting it. You see what I'm saying? So those women are not just gonna be laying up with you. You gonna find one like that and it just be casual because they got it figured out already. They getting the validation from tons of men already, and they more than likely got a dude that's already blowing their back out and ain't giving them nothing. Same with Instagram models. You know, the Instagram model thing is, and this again, this is not to say that you can't find it or it's not gonna happen, but it's probably not. The probability is, you know, your chances are slim to none. All right, and again, the same with the Instagram models. They more so, you know, not to say that they won't, but their whole thing is clout, opportunity. A lot of them be doing some strange for some change. A lot of them prostitutes anyway, just glorified prostitutes, you know, but money, clout. It's not just, I met some dude and so now we just smashing, especially if they more popular. You know, it has to be about something. So most men are average. Your average ass, it's not happening, bro. They not. This is gonna be, you know, when they have all type of DMs and all type of guys on their radar that's got money and status and you know, they're exposed to these type of men. Why would she come and just lay up with you for nothing and then they ain't gonna get nothing out of it? It don't work like that. So again, not that you can't get it, but you have a better chance looking where, you know, your chances are high or the probability is high that you find something to get what you're looking for. But these women are typically, you pretty much wasting your time. Again, sex workers, that's including strippers, that's including uh, HOs, prostitutes, OnlyFans models, social media attention whores, models, and the Instagram models. It's including all of that. You're more than likely not gonna get a casual thing out of them. Now, I'm not saying you may not meet one, they like you, y'all hook up, and but in their mind, it's not about, oh, I'm just trying to have fun, so let me just hook up with him. In their mind, that's not what's going on. So you may come in like, like you got something to offer, and then it happened, and then you fake them out. That happened, but you don't want to live your life like that. You don't want to play the game. You don't want to kick the game like that anyway, because that's gonna backfire on you. So if you if you want to be casual date, you want to build your little rotation and just be whatever the case may be. These ain't the women for it, bro. Trust me. And it's not even on some. This ain't one of them shows where it's like, oh, well, they got these type of problems and these type of problems. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that it's the probability of you doing that is not likely. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into who are the best women for casual dating. Now, we're going to start this list off with the controversial. It's going to be controversial. I already know it. But busy single mothers. Busy single mothers. I could hear the comments now. I could hear the think pieces. I could hear the debates. I could hear the incels and the red pill fake alpha males and the fake players who don't get no ass that always got something to say online. That's always complaining online. I could hear them not. King, you ain't never supposed to. We don't deal with single mothers. And they don't deserve this. And shut up. I don't want. Shut up. Get out. Turn this off. Matter of fact, this ain't for you, right? But busy single mothers, especially the ones who don't have the dad around. And it's not because, oh, she's a single mother, so she used to fucking. No, that a woman that got kids is not indicative of her being a HO. Women have kids in relationships, and the relationships don't work, or the marriages don't work. Women who don't have kids be fucking more than anything. They have more abortions than anything. So it's not about because she got kids and that she a single mother, so she automatically a slut or a promiscuous. No, it's about how restricted their lives are. And I'm going to break that down in a second. But now, I don't want to make it seem like all single mothers, or especially busy single mothers, are not looking for relationships, because there is a large majority of single mothers that want a family. They want to, they want a family. They want to looking for a stepdad for their kids or whatever the case may be. But a lot of them are not, right? Especially, again, the ones who don't have the dad around. Here's why. Life for them is very restrictive, and fun and pleasure is almost none, right? A lot of them don't have the capacity, the time, or the energy to be responsible for another adult and another adult's feelings and another adult, a man, taking care of a man and looking after a man and being in a relationship. A lot of them don't have the capacity for that, between bills, work, or whatever the case may be. They don't have the capacity to be held to the standard of a girlfriend or a wife unless they're ready for it, and a lot of them just aren't. I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them just aren't ready for that. Kids, work, bills, just day-to-day life and just trying to stay afloat keeps them in a chronic state of survival, right? With no time to have fun and really enjoy themselves and to really be free. It's just a day-to-day grind. There's very limited time for fun. And when there is the time for fun, they don't want it to come with strings attached, if that makes sense, because their lives are so consumed with their children, work, paying the bills, right? That type of stuff. With these type of women, with them, you have to come in the game representing freedom. You have to come in the game or come at them with the representing freedom with low pressure, right? And what I mean is freedom that don't come with where your phone was dead, where you at, why you ain't called me last night, who you was talking to, like that type of shit. you ain't making sure I eat. They don't want to have to make sure you eat. They don't want to have to make sure you okay, be held to the standard of a girlfriend. That's not worth, you know, their freedom is not worth going through that. They don't want to go through that just to get a little bit of freedom and free time. You see what I'm saying? And so with women like that, if you a guy who can understand that they busy, understand that you ain't gonna be a priority, understand that they got a life of their own and that they trying to, you know, that they trying to live, understand that they not trying to really be serious and take care of no man, and you can understand that and understand, okay, this is just, we just have fun. I can get in here and get out. If you can present yourself that way to this type of woman, she'll stay with you forever until she finds until she's ready to get married or some shit like that or get ready for a relationship. She'll deal with you forever, right? Because the a lot of the stress that come with dating and relationships, man or woman, it just comes with another nuance, and it just comes with another level of stress that a lot of people don't have it. Them type of people don't have the capacity for, especially if you're a dude who can't control your emotions, if you needy, if if you dependent on them emotionally or financially or whatever the case may be, you become like another child to them. Women like that feel like most men are extra children, right? And so you can come in like as the man that, I'm fun, I'm pleasure. It's an escape from your day-to-day grind. For this little bit of time, you can, Saturday night while, the mama got the kids, just, this 3-4 hours is just an escape, and you can be free, let go, be yourself, no strings attached, no pressure. Those type of men are the type of men that they go for. And the thing is, those type of men are rare because most of y'all are needy, grown children who need women emotionally, who thirsty and simpy and dependent and stuff like that. So women like that be going without, and they be going long stretches without, without even getting them because they can't find that thing. Because a lot of dudes ain't player like that. A lot of dudes ain't P like that. And so they just don't even be dating because it don't be worth it. Like all the shit that you come with ain't worth it. It don't be worth it. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's just that they have other priorities. I have children. On the flip side, I'm a man. I have children. I don't got time for no woman's bullshit. I don't have time for that. Whether I'm in a relationship, casually dating or not, I don't got time for why you said this and why you posted this status. I don't got time for that shit. And so the woman that deal with me gotta understand that. You understand? So that's what it is with them, right? When you find a woman like that, you gotta capitalize, on a limited time. They on a limited time, and you have to capitalize on that time. You get to the point. Don't be small talking and all that. You get to the point. Try to see them or whatever, but they're not gonna have the time to be available for you all day. So when they do get a window, you make sure you capitalize on that. Those type of women, you got to do pull-ups on the lunch break. Like if they work during the day, right? You pull up on the lunch break, bring some chicken wings or something like that, and y'all sit and kick it on the lunch break. Or, if she work home during the day, you slide through the end. Or later at night when the kids sleep, or, brief windows of time when the grandma got them or when the dad pick them up like that, but or when the dad pick them up, or whatever the case may be. But that's how you got to play it with them. Now, again, some women, a lot of single mothers ain't on that. Just getting, the casual stuff. A lot of them ain't. So you just through conversation and ask a woman what she's looking for. If a woman is on the market, right? You meet a woman on a dating app, or you meet her out and about, and she's open to dating, right? She's open to other men and letting men and giving men her number, and she tell you she not looking for something serious. This is the type of woman that I'm talking about. If she tell you, she understands her value and she want to be courted, and she wants a relationship and she wants a family. This ain't the type of single mother that's open to casual. So just pay attention to the conversation. Just pay attention to, ask the right questions, and you'll be able to see the two. Again, all busy single mothers are not open to casual sex, but a lot of them are. It's if you playing the game right, if you handling your cards right. and they make some of the best interactions because they not gonna be tripping on you. They not gonna bring you no problems. They not gonna bring you no issues. They not gonna bring you no bullshit and no drama. And they got shit to lose, so it ain't gonna be no bullshit. I'm telling you, bro. Trust me. Another thing with that is like a lot of influencers I hear, a lot of dating coaches, they tell you to, oh, and this is particularly with dealing with a woman like this. They tell you, oh, if a woman is you offer a date, you say, oh, I'm free on Saturday, and a woman counters and says, well, I'm free on Sunday. They tell you to be all macho or, well, no, this is the date that I can only do. I can't do nothing else because you want to seem like you don't have time or you want to seem like you just don't follow women or whatever the case may be with women like that. And a lot of the times, most of the time, that shit be bull. You don't have to be like that. Like, just because she may not be free that Saturday. And with me personally, let's say if I hit a woman up and I'm like, what you doing on Friday, right? She like, well, I can't Friday because my family in town. These goofy motherfuckers to tell you, oh, well, just to stand on your business or whatever term they use to just take that date or take nothing. Like as if you reschedule somehow she gonna look at you like a punk or something. Goofy. But if she's not available Friday and she say, well, what about Saturday? If I'm free Saturday, okay, that's fine. Like I'm not following her around. We just trying to get in alignment. But with women like this, specifically the busy single mother, you more times often than not, they're not gonna be available when you available. So I said all that to say that you're gonna have to maybe deal with. You may be off for Friday and they say, well, I ain't free Friday because I'm going to watch the kids. What about Saturday? Don't listen to these goofy motherfuckers to be like, oh, well, she going to think you're a punk everybody ain't trying to test you and shit test you to see if they can punk you. She just not free Friday, my nigga. Like, relax. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, don't listen to them dudes that tell you that. Now, again, you can't be insecure with them and you can't be trying to push your emotions on them and you can't be trying to box them into a relationship and trying to you can't do that with these type of women. You're gonna get the let's just be friends, I don't know about this and pulling back. That's what you're gonna get when you deal with a woman like that, because these women don't have the capacity for another child. You understand? And when you're a grown man that act like that, you are essentially another child. But let's move on. If you're a man who's tired of women going cold over text, tired of dates that end with a hug and no follow through, tired of the dry spells that stretch way longer than they should, tired of fumbling women because you don't know what to say or do next, this is for you. Pay attention. Hell, if you haven't been able to get any traction with women at all and you start from zero, this is still for you. Seduction Mastery is an 8-week one-on-one coaching program where I teach you how to have consistent access to women you actually want and take full control of your dating life. I'll teach you exactly what to say on dating apps to get women to respond and wanting to meet you in person. I'll teach you how to text, what to say, when to say it, and how to get women to show up to the date and reduce your canceled dates drastically. I'll teach you how to plan the date, lead it, and escalate from the number to the date to taking her home and having sex without overthinking or talking yourself out at every stage. And I'll show you how to be physically appealing even if you're short or overweight. This is direct one-on-one coaching built around your actual situations and your personality, so you're not going to be somebody who you're not, and you can still get what you want. If you're ready to stop wasting your time and running on a hamster wheel and start having real dates, real sex, and real relationships with women, the link is in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, go click the link in the description. If you're watching on Spotify, Apple, the link is in the show notes. Let's get to it. Now, the next woman that's a good candidate for casual relationships, casual sex, hookups, jump offs is college women, right? And the thing with college women is college is often the first place a lot of women get to experience freedom from strict parents, structure, or the opportunity to the freedom to rebel against society or family or religion with no consequences. So college a lot of the times represents freedom without consequences, rebellion without consequences. And the best and easy way for a woman to do that is through casual sex. Casual sex is for a woman, it's like, I'm doing my own thing now, I'm free. Casual sex for women and sex without strings attached for women. Again, not all women, but women who choose to think like this, it represents freedom. And to some women, it represents um, rebellion, you know, especially without consequences. So college is full of women like this, right? On top of the rebelliousness and the freedom, they're younger, and younger women tend to not. They haven't learned the value that the marketplace places on their sexuality. Younger women, a lot of younger women haven't learned that yet. And so they typically, and through exploring and wanting to learn and explore their bodies and breathe free and rebel, they give their sexuality away for free, right? Because they don't know the value of it. Whereas a woman may start, a stripper. Like it's the opposite. Like I was talking about strippers. Strippers understand what the market is willing to pay for her sexuality. A OnlyFans model understands the market, how much the market is willing to pay for her sexuality. Most young women don't understand that, and so they don't value their sex. They don't value their sexuality, especially today in a society where women are taught and socially engineered to believe that that's freedom of expression. You understand what I'm saying? And college is a hub for this. I always tell guys, I used to do videos every year when I was more provocative on TikTok and stuff like that. Every year when college starts, school starts in August, I made a video. Hey, look, bruh, let her go. I know that's your high school sweetheart. If y'all going to different campuses, let her go, bruh. She finna get ran through. If you don't believe me, check back in a year. And surprisingly, there's a lot of guys that come back a year later like, hey, man, you was right. Hey, man, you was right. I know when women go to college, they get wild because high school is more structure. They got structure and strict parents and rules and guidelines that they got to follow, right? There's no freedom. They're sexually repressed, all type of shit. And when they get to college and then they don't have them chains, they go wild, especially the younger ones. Now, when they start to get juniors and seniors, they start to get a little smarter, right? But the younger ones, 18, 19, 20, 21, talk about live, my brother. So, uh, yeah. Now, let me say this real quick. I just thought of something because one of y'all goofy motherfuckers gonna try to get oh, you say over here, you said vagina ain't valuable, but then you saying it's valuable. I'm talking about in respective to the way a woman views her vagina. And just because, I personally don't find vagina valuable, to me, vagina is not valuable. I would be a fool to not understand how valuable the marketplace sees vagina. So I just wanted to make that clear because I already know some guys be on bullshit and trying to come up with gotchas and try to point you out to be a hypocrite because you said this in another video. I understand it from an economist standpoint and understanding the marketplace. And I understand that a stripper may, what she views as valuable is different than what I view as valuable. I don't think vagina is valuable at all. Not sex, especially from no bop that's having sex with other people, especially not from no woman who fucking other dudes. So it's not valuable to me. So it don't really mean nothing to me, but to the marketplace, it do. Clearly it do. I just wanted to say that, but college women, you find them, college parties. Now, if you 30 and 40 years old, bro, stay out the fucking college parties. Don't be going to no college parties like no creepy old dude. But, if you're a younger guy, I'm not saying that if you're 30 or 40, you can't deal with a woman that's 20. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. But don't be going to college parties like no fucking creep. Don't do that now. But, it be college parties on campus, the local clubs and bars on a Friday night. If especially if the promoters are in college, like the promoters that's hosting events, especially they're in college. Coffee shops, just around, like if you have a school, if you have a campus, right? I know me, I live in Tampa, and we got two, I don't want to say University of Tampa is a major college, but it's big enough. We got the University of Tampa, and then we got University of South Florida. And within a 2-3 mile radius, everything around, north, east, south, and west is all full of women, full of young women on both of these campuses, both ways. And anybody that know what I'm talking about, that been here or live here, know what I'm talking about. Anything around USF for 2 miles each way, 2-3 miles each way is full of women, full of young women, from the Walmarts to the Targets, all of the stores in between, the coffee shops, the eateries, all that is full of women. The Ross, the Targets is full of young women. So, just go in the area and you pick up on something. And they easy. Chicks like that too, you really don't have to, especially the younger they are, you don't have to really court them. Like I be trying to tell my young students that, like, you don't have to court college women. Like a lot of you guys be trying to court them, like take them on dates and stuff like that. Like they don't understand that. Not that they don't understand it, but they're not open to, not even that they're not open to it. They haven't been through enough to even make that a requirement. Like they don't care about that type of stuff. They just want to have fun and be free and just, it's all about the vibes. Cause it's not about, they haven't been through a point in life to where it's like they feel like they got taken advantage of or used and abused or given themselves and gotten that back. They ain't there yet. Now when she turned 24, 25, then it's a little different. It's, it's like, well, I'm not just gonna come to your house. A 20-year-old will just come straight to your house. You cute, you talking right, she come straight to your house. So you don't really gotta court women like that. So just so cause women like that too, you court them like that, it's you put yourself in a boyfriend zone a lot. And I'm talking about the college women who are open to casual, like that's open and on that. Every college woman, of course, ain't open and on that, but a large majority of them are. So those type of women, you don't need to court them because they ain't even there yet in their mind, like So that you start doing that type of shit, and they see you as a boyfriend or friend zone shit. So get to the point with them. Have fun, handle your business, but they make great they make great casual sex partners. And when I say don't court, I mean like dinner dates and trying to like make them out to be like girlfriends and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you want to meet up with people to see what they're about. You don't want to just invite anybody to your house. Do something very, very low effort. Park, coffee shop, meet me at the Target lot. I'm at Target. I'm gonna run in Target. Meet me here. Let's kick it and drink some coffee real quick. Stuff like that, so you can kind of get a gauge on the person. But all that courting and letting her make her feel it important and all that, that's just gonna get you put in the friend zone for sure, for sure. But yeah, college women definitely don't go. They definitely don't go. And if you live in a place, all my players know. All my players know. We used to, man, when I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, them college chicks they was a gold mine. Like I'm talking about like easy. That was easy money. Easy money, bro. Them chicks, them USF chicks, some University of Tampa chicks, they was easy money. College women are if that's what you're looking for, you want something casual, especially if you're younger, that's where it's at. Oh, and let me say this, don't make the mistake of trying to fall for one of these younger women, because the thing is, they're not morally in tune yet. And what I mean is, an older woman, let's say there's an older woman who want casual sex, right? Or she's trying to just be casual, or she don't want, anything too serious, right? Or one of them busy single moms or whatever the case may be. And you start catching feelings and you start trying to box her into a relationship. Older women don't have time they may pull back, but they don't have time to continue to use you. And, a lot of the times they don't have the time for that. And I'm not saying that older women can't use you, and that's not what I'm saying, or exploit you. But if that's a lot of the times, a lot of them, that's not their intention. Now, there are older women who have the intention on exploiting you. They just bad character. But what I'm saying is a woman who's being genuine about it, and a woman who's pure and genuine, if you try to box her into something that she don't want to be in, she'll, pull back lightly and then she'll just get out of there. A younger woman won't do that. A younger woman will exploit you. She'll let you put her in a boyfriend. She'll let you put her in that position, and she'll just use your ass up for emotional support. You basically gonna be her lapdog. Younger women aren't. They have more capacity to waste time like that. Older women that's with their head on straight, they're not trying to waste time by using you for your emotions, because your emotional, the things that you come with emotionally, it ain't worth it to them. And it ain't like you got no whole lot of money, right? So, that's if you don't have a whole lot of money. So understand that you have to, them young college chicks and them young women, you have to treat them how you meet them. You got to lead them where you find them, and you got to let the hoe be the hoe in them. Don't try to save them, because they're not gonna pull back from you. You're right in the boyfriend zone, and your ass gonna be the utility boyfriend, and you're gonna be getting cheated on for sure. So don't try to wipe them up. They cheating for sure. They bopping around for sure, for sure, for sure. They society ain't kicked them in the ass yet. They ain't made the mistakes of fucking over good dudes yet and wasting their time exploiting some dude over for his emotions. A younger person, an older person, like that ain't worth it. Like, to just be around you to get emotional support, it's not worth it based on what you come with if you that type of person. So always remember that. Don't them young ones, you be careful, bro. Don't try to put them in a position they not qualified for. Don't ever do that. Now the next one is divorcees, women who just got divorced. Divorcees are some of the best candidates for casual sex and dating and hookups, because they are coming out of misery, right? A lot of them have been in long relationships where it's just arguing, bullshit, resentment, just misery, regardless of who's starting it, and there was no pleasure, there was no freedom, there was no, room for the woman to have fun or explore, or whatever the case may be. Just straight chronic misery, sexual repression. A lot of them, either married dudes who they wasn't sexually attracted to, or something happened so long ago that the resentment that was killed, the resentment that was built killed the sexual energy. It killed the sexual attraction. And when that happens, a person become sexually repressed. And it's just, all of those, you don't get to express yourself sexually. You don't get to have fun and, have sex and explore that level of, that human need and that human desire. You are repressed in that area. Lack of intimacy, no closeness, no hand holding, no kissing, no love, no butterfly feelings. That shit has been long gone, and they longing for that, right? They longing for all of that stuff: sexual freedom, sexual expression, intimacy, all of that. And the good thing about it is they long for it, but they do not have the capacity for another man. And what make these women dangerous is that they'll give you this. Like a normal woman who on casual sex and who open to that, generally, she not like gonna be doing all that filly touchy shit and intimacy, and you're not gonna really get that. But with these type of women, you'll get that. And so if you're not careful, if you're not aware, it'll confuse you, and you'll think that the woman wants more based on how she carrying herself with you. And it's not that. It's just that she's been repressed from this for so long, but she knows how to explore this part of her, express this part of her, and not catch feelings with you, and still not have to have the capacity to want to be your woman and be responsible for another man. These women do not want the responsibility. A lot of them don't want to jump back into no other relationship. Now, the ones who will, because they're divorced women who, they will, you got to be careful, because it's not that they're doing it because they want a relationship. It's just that it's not even that they wanting to be in a relationship. It's the energy that they're giving off that make you believe that. And so you get into this rebound thing. You become what's called a rebound, because they have been repressed for so long, and then they meet you and they give off this energy, and then you go into it and you go head first, and 2 months later they on to something new, on to a new experience. And a lot of them, especially the ones who didn't get to live out their whole fantasies and date around and explore themselves, they've been married to this dude since they was 18 and 20, and they got 2, 3 kids. They never got a real chance to capitalize on the attention that their sexuality bring, and they seeing all these women doing it on Instagram. They seeing all these older moms get their groove back and shit. A lot of them want to experience that, and they gonna experience it when it's over. They gonna experience that. So getting attached to that type of woman, don't get attached to that type of woman. But they good for casual, because they not gonna put no pressure on you like that. And it's more intense. That's the thing. With them divorced women, the emotional component is more intense. If you can handle it, you in the game, you Gucci. But they don't have a lot of them don't have the capacity for another man. Dating apps, they all over the dating apps, lounges, bars, events, you know, gyms, especially gyms. When women get divorced, they run that gym down. Not no bullshit gym, but the ones that's like them gyms that cost $150 a month, them upscale, the more upscale gym. That's what them type of women be at. Yoga, Pilates. They trying to get that body right. They trying to cash in on that sexuality. They trying to cash in on that whole phase that they missed. They ain't get to experience that. They ain't get the experience to hooking up and having fun. And if they did, it was so long ago that they miss it. They trying to go back to their glory days. It's almost like them regressing. So that's why they make good casual, partners. If you careful, if you ain't allowing yourself to slip and be goofy and, fall for them like that. But just ask them, when you meet a woman, ask her what's going on with her, If she tell you she just got divorced or she about to get divorced. Now, if she tell you she about to get divorced and is separated, I would proceed with caution, because these dudes will blow your head off about their wives and they women. But if she tell you she just got divorced, more than likely she ain't. Green light. Now, they older too, so, a lot of older women ain't just, they will, but a lot of the times it ain't gonna be no just, I meet you somewhere, just come to the crib. So, you gotta do the process, and how I teach and stuff like that. So you don't really approach them like younger women, because although they are sexually repressed, although they are sexually repressed, intimacy starved, and all of that stuff, they still value themselves in a bit, to where they're just not gonna be like, like they in high school and just fucking in the car and all that stuff. It's still a little bit more that goes into the process than just, let's kick it at my crib, and that's not to say that you have to court them either, or take them on these fancy things. But the dating process for them is more standard than just when you're meeting a 20-year-old. So, now to another women that's a spinoff of that, the divorced women are the women who just got out of relationships. Women who just got out of a relationship, not divorcees, not the women who've been married for 10 years and 5 years, but women who just got out of a relationship. They may have been in a relationship for a year, or they may have been in a relationship for 2 years, where it wasn't a marriage, but they was just seeing somebody, and emotionally tied to them for, a year, 2, 3 years, even 5 years. It's almost the same with the divorcee, but the thing with these women they're more vulnerable. The divorced women are not really vulnerable, because it was a buildup to, like, they've already, by the time the divorce happens, they're already over the vulnerability stage, because they went through the process already, in the process of getting a divorce and the breaking up and the separations and all that stuff. So they've already purged them emotions. Whereas women who just got out of a relationship, they just broke up with their boyfriend 2 days ago, they're way more vulnerable. And when they're way more vulnerable, they're way more open. Right? They're way more open to, expressing themselves sexually, because of the vulnerability, right? But this the thing, you got to be careful, because a lot of the times they're gonna go back to what's comfortable, and they're gonna go back to what's familiar. So a lot of guys, they meet a woman, and she just got out of a relationship, and they go balls to the wall. They'll rebound, they don't know it, and then the girl break up with them 2, 3 weeks later, and pull back from them. You know, a month later they hit me up, King Dre, what happened? You move too fast, my brother. And the thing with women, when they tell you they just got out of a relationship, you gotta move fast. You gotta move fast. If a woman, you meet her and she said, I just broke up with my boyfriend 2 days ago, you got about a 2 day window before she go back to him. Get in, get it, and get out. Another thing that, because again, like I say, they probably gonna start talking back again. A lot of the times you'll be talking to chicks, you don't really be knowing that they broke up with their dude, but you'll be talking to it, it just be super good and they be into it, and then it just all of a sudden disappear out of nowhere. They went back to the dude. They was vulnerable. They turned on their dating app, met you, start talking to you, and they got back with they do. So, and they just ghosted you. So that happens a lot. So when you meet a woman like that, and she tell you she just got out of a relationship, you get in there and get out real fast. Another thing with them is, and it's something that y'all may not know, but when a woman break up with you, a lot of the times, a lot of women, they'll sleep with somebody else as like a final nail in the coffin to where it's like, this is confirmation for them not to go back. Like this is the moment of the fork in the road, and I'm turning left or right. And when I make this decision and I sleep with this person, I sleep with that person, I'm not coming back. There's no going back. So they just, women who get out of relationships and break up, they easier that they be throwing it around. But that's one of the reasons, because it's like I'm trying to find the right word for it, but it's like like I say, it's a confirmation to them that okay, this is over. It's like the sealing the deal on their decision to walk away, even though they may not mean it. But in the moment, and they not seeing themselves a month from now, but in the moment and in their spirit, it's like, I'm done with this. This is gonna seal the deal. I know once I make the decision, I can't turn back. I can't turn around. A lot of women do that when they break up with you, or when you call it quits. So for my guys that's in relationships, if your girl be breaking up with you and shit all the time, and, and y'all be going on breaks, and that's probably what your girl doing. She used another dude to seal the deal. So in her mind, there's no turning back, but she's not thinking far enough. So when that dude treating her like shit and ain't giving her the attention that she looking for, she called your goofy ass back. So that's just, I know that's what ain't what the episode about, but just keep that in mind, my brother. But you got to be careful with, women like this, because you'll waste your time if you don't understand the game. Like if you don't understand that this is temporary and this is fleeting, and she more than likely gonna go back to what's comfortable, then you're gonna waste your time and you're gonna hurt yourself. But those are the best women to have casual sex or for casual dating. Busy single mothers, more than likely, not more than likely, but the ones who are most more than likely is the one who don't have the dad around. And again, that's not to say that all single mothers who are busy, but there's a large majority of them who don't want relationships. Those divorcees, college women, young women in general, under 22. Did I say divorcees and women who just got out of relationships? Those are the best for casual dates. Stop wasting your time with strippers. Stop wasting your time with OnlyFans women. Stop wasting your time with sex workers. Stop wasting your time with the Instagram model. Stop wasting your time with social media attention whores. It's more than likely ain't gonna happen with your average ass. And there's nothing wrong with being average, but go to where you gonna go. Fish to where you more than likely gonna catch some fish at. But outside of that, man, that's been my time. Again, if you want the complete attraction system where you learn attraction, head to toe, personality, spirit, developing charm, developing your mouthpiece, how to code approach, all of that, the Texan workshop, the Texan course, where you can get breakdowns on real text threads and be giving game for 2.5 hours, just breaking the game down, what to text, what not to text, when, how to flirt, when to flirt, that type of stuff. If you want that, the link is in the description. The link is in the show notes, the bio, wherever you seeing this at, the link is at. That's if you're watching on YouTube. Oh, and this it come with the conversation starters that spark chemistry. So if you have trouble with coming up with things to talk about, I got a whole list of fire shit. It's one I'm not even gonna say it because the people who paid for it to be mad if I gave this one for free. But it's one on there and it works every time. And when you get it, and when you see it, you're gonna know. It's just one. It's that one. And my guys know it. All of them say, man, this one to be working all the time. But that, you get all that. You get the attraction program, you get the texting program, and you get the conversation starters that spark chemistry. Also, I got a free ebook, 5 dating mistakes that kill attraction. It's free. Click the link in the description. Click the link in the show notes based on where you're watching this at. Based on where you're watching this at. YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. If you're struggling with women, if you're having a problem with women, getting dates, getting sex, you're more than likely making one of these mistakes. And then when you fix this mistake, then you could talk about texting and getting attractive and putting your game down. But you got to fix these mistakes. So that's why that's free. I want to hook y'all up with that. So that's in the description and the show notes and all of that. But other than that, man, I've had a great time. I'm glad to be back again. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's spread the game. We spread game, not negativity. Spread the game. Share this. Put this in the group chat. Put this in it. If for my guys that's in college and y'all trying to get y'all numbers up, y'all trying to, y'all got the apartment and y'all sharing the apartment and y'all, hey, let me know when a chick come over, I leave, and you got a homie that you let you use his crib to bring girls over, all that. Share this episode. If you a older guy and you just getting out of a divorce, or a guy that's getting out of divorce and he want to get his numbers up, he just want to date and get his confidence back up, send him this. If you got a brother who struggle, just spread the game, man. That's how you help me. You don't owe me nothing, but just spread this game so we can grow and we can change the world. But other than that, man, I've had a good time. This is your gracious game advisor, yours truly, King Dre. Till next time.